the drainbows. That's what we call the folks out here that do messed up stuff like slip stuff into your drinks. Now, every drainbow knows that if you're going to slip something into somebody's drink, it needs to be something they're not going to taste. So every drainbow's dream is to have a big fat bile acid, and they can put a whole bunch in everybody's drink, so much that these people never mentally come back from it. Well, here's the thing about acid. It's not as easy to come by or as cheap as methamphetamines. Now, if they'd put that quantity of acid in there instead of meth, I wouldn't be talking right now. I probably wouldn't even know what the English language was anymore. I've seen people who have been fried like that and drooling on yourself is a good day for them. Now, the thing that's weird to me, albeit I'm not a all day, every day kind of pot smoker, when you go to the hospital and you take a whiz quiz and you got something in your system, they're supposed to put it down there and what you're supposed to do about it. Now, with the fact that there's no pot in my system, apparently, that weirds me out because I know for a fact I smoked some maybe, I don't know, week and a half before I went to the hospital. Griffo the Great typed, "You ain't got no green." Nope, I ain't got no green. You mean cash? So yeah, I went up to the hospital like 2 nights ago to find out what it was exactly that they had put in my system. And well, what they put in my system was meth. The guy came up to me and told me he was, well, I don't think he said he was sorry, but I think he was trying to imply that he was sorry for the way he treated me the last time that I'd seen him. Although by the end of that, I thought everything was cool with him. You know, it seemed to me he said he was going to take a look at the evidence and actually wanted to. But that ain't what ended up happening. What ended up happening is he... Oh, you know this. I'm the native. I'm superstitious. So, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of a magnet for the different folk, ain't I? The people that I'm supposed to go to about issues like this, like most of you guys telling me stuff like, oh, I should be happy for free drugs. I want you to think about if they did that to your girlfriend or your daughter or your sister or something. If they put drugs in her drink, how would you feel about it? Would you tell her at least she got free drugs? Is that how you'd treat it? Or would you be pissed off? So a penny. My question is, why would you only be pissed off if that happened to a woman? Why do you tell a man something different? We don't observe anything close to equality. Male victims are treated like predators, same as any other male. Being homeless and disabled, those are just 2 more points for you. That makes it so much easier to victimize us. Oh, he's mentally ill, or she's mentally ill. Look, Natalie Bollinger has suicidal ideation, so her daddy must not actually be raping her. Oh, her dad can't be raping her. See, she cut herself. She did that to herself. She's just trying to get attention. It's got nothing to do with her daddy raping her and her mommy not giving a shit. No, Sean's got suicidal ideations. He could possibly be being abused because he's got suicidal ideations. You know, you can be charged as a criminal if you bully somebody to the point of killing themselves. But if that person, instead of killing themselves, goes to the cops and says, hey, these people are bullying me to the point that I want my life to end. Obviously, they're there trying to get help, not trying to get help ending their life, but trying to get help stopping the bullies. But what do? What do the police do? What do the social workers and caseworkers do? They lock up the victim, call them mentally ill, and from there on in, their fate is sealed. They were abused to the point of having to do desperate things to try to get help. And because they were forced to do those desperate things, they're never going to be allowed any kind of help ever again. They got the mentally ill tag. So then when your brother-in-law decides that he's going to date rape your sister, but she's got depression because, well, he's that kind of guy. And she tries to turn him in. Oh, well, you know, your dad was a sick pervert too, and she's got them cuts all over her arms, and now all her husband's got to say is mentally ill, and boom, it all goes away. She goes to a hospital, she tries to speak up, they inject her with drugs, she screams for dear life, and they tell her how rude she's being to the other patients. Meanwhile, all the other patients feel for her, they really do, because they've all done the same thing. Holy shit. We don't have anything close to mental health care in this country. What we have is victimization for profit. This is a capitalist society. We're good at wasting tax dollars. Anybody who caters to an industry, well, where they can put us, and people are going to regulate it far less than anywhere else. I mean, there's a reason that all these mental hospitals in America were downgraded. They were downgraded to behavioral health centers. You know what the difference is? In a behavioral health center, the doctor doesn't even have to be present. In a behavioral health center, they only have to have one nurse on staff at any point in time. In a mental health center, they can hire people straight out of Walmart and 7-Eleven, or people who are just fired from Walmart and 7-Eleven. And then those people are the ones that are actually there on the floor with you, doing whatever they want. They're not supervised. You can't call that supervised. And then they get to control what goes out and what comes in. What you are and are not allowed to do, are and are not allowed to say. And you got to mind your P's and Q's. When you're trying to get somebody to listen to the fact that there's evidence in a backpack that's only feet away from you, and nobody will look at it. Nobody. You know what that's like? I tried to get them to look at it in Boulder. I tried to get them to look at it in Broomfield. I tried to get them to look at it at Adams County. I tried to get them to look at it in Longmont. I tried to get them to look at it in Louisville and Lafayette. But if you ignore it, you can pretend it didn't happen, right? Or if you tell me to do it myself, then you cut me off from any and all resources that it takes to do those things myself. You forced me into a corner and you've allowed my predators to do whatever they want to me repeatedly. And then you say ignorant shit and think that makes it magically okay. Or you say, oh, I can't handle your negativity. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I don't give a shit. This isn't negativity. I'm still enduring the abuse, you dumb shits. A lot of people talk to me about how it used to be for them. They're still bitching about it to this day. Some of them about relationships that ended over 20 years ago. Oh, I was gonna use that. It ain't right. This is really how it is. Yeah, that Laura lady is supposed to be working with the people who we're told to call to get services here. She's also recorded admitting to being a meth addict, among other things. And I get people that are angry about that. I get it. I don't care. Between you being embarrassed and people staying alive, I'd rather have people stay alive. If telling the truth about you keeps people alive, I'll tell the truth about you. Anyway, it's good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind.